Hey everybody, welcome back to Horton's Talk. Today we wanted to bring up a subject that is really close to our hearts because for Paul and I, we have built a couple of very strong businesses over the last 25 years. We've definitely built a great family over the last 30 years, and over the last 33 years we've built an incredible marriage, mostly because Paul's been an angel. But what I wanted to talk about today was understanding the process of growth. Because we live in this instant world where everybody thinks stuff is going to just happen. So I want to start by telling you one of my favorite stories, which is the story of the life of a Chinese bamboo plant. If you take a Chinese bamboo plant today at seedling form and plant it in your backyard, water it, care for it, look after it, do you know what's going to happen in a year's time? Nothing. 2 years time, nothing. 3 years time, nothing. 4 years time, nothing. But on the 5th anniversary of planting that tree, do you know what's going to happen? It's going to break ground. 6 weeks later, 1.5 months later, it will be 90 feet tall. Can you believe that?
It's incredible.
It's incredible, isn't it? And it is the perfect example of what we're talking about today, because we live in an instant society where people, I believe, are just giving up on stuff so quick. Business ideas, marriages, they're all just jumping out because it gets tough. But here's the thing, can you imagine what was going on for 5 years underneath the soil to produce growth like that in 6 weeks?
Incredible. Especially coming from a building background, the same process is engaged in for building various different structures.
True.
The higher you go, the deeper you have to go with the foundation. So that your dreams and passions and desires, the bigger you want to go, the more groundwork that you've got to put in. One of the keys is that your future goals and dreams and passions and desires, your future is based and is patterned by your past.
True.
So what you have to do is that if you're wanting to build a 7-story high-rise, then the time has got to go into building that foundation and that base. And it doesn't matter what you're looking at in your life right now. You've got to put the hard yards in. Sure, there's a lot of stuff on the internet out there today that talks about, thinking positively, speaking out what it is that you desire, and sure, that's a part of it. But reality is that what you've put your hand to do in the past is going to govern to what your future is going to look like.
True. So can I get on my high horse for a minute?
Okay.
One of my pet hates, to be honest with you, is programs like The Bachelorette or Love at First Sight. Because what happens is it tells our culture that you can meet somebody and in 8 weeks' time you're in love. I want to just call BS on that. It's ridiculous because you can't be. You can be attracted to them and falling in love, but you're not in love. You're not ready for marriage after 8 weeks. And I feel sorry for these people because that show attracts legit decent people. They front up, they're truly looking for this incredible relationship. And I feel like they're set up for failure because when the cameras turn off, 8 weeks later, they're having all these barneys and no one set them up for it. I mean, how was the first year of our marriage? It was tough work, wasn't it?
Tracy was very difficult.
It was a handful. Actually, I was a handful. But here's the thing, 33 years down the track, what you're looking at is freaking solid. It's solid because like the Chinese bamboo, like the construction site, there's a foundation we worked on. 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. We've laid a foundation. We understand intimacy with each other. There's no area we don't talk about. We've affair-proofed our marriage. We've exposed our deepest secrets. We've exposed our strongest points. We've learnt how to complement each other. Don't you agree that these programs are setting people up to think that you can have it instantly? And it's not true.
Well, we definitely live in an instant society.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, we've got some of our grandkids that are living with us at the moment, and Tracy was just saying earlier, you know, they'll go to the refrigerator and open it, and it can be full of food, but they'll say there's nothing in there to eat.
It's true.
Because mainly it's stuff that you've got to get out and prepare and cook. So it's going to take time,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's not instant food, and most instant food is not good for you anyway, other than maybe fruit and vegetable if you have it raw. But we live in that constant reminder of advertisements and TV series and programs and all sorts of stuff, that everything is so instant today, and that we believe that we can have a thriving money-making business within 12 months.
Yeah.
Or a marriage, like Tracy said, that you can get together in 8 weeks and have a great marriage in 12 months. There's a process. There's areas that I've looked back in my life 20 years later, after having a dream or a vision on something, and looking 20 years later and seeing it come to pass. And all good things take time.
Yeah, they do.
But our society is governed in such a way where everything has to be instant.
Yeah, for sure. And I think to myself, I think the catch with that is that people get set up to believe if they're not a success in 6 months, if 5 months after that, love at first sight, they're not happily married, there's something wrong with them. And that's what I really want to break down today, is that when you're building in your life for something serious, like a marriage, a business, parenthood, relationships, they take time. And there's nothing wrong with you if in a year's time it's not working. It just means that you're growing with that, you're learning through that. You know, if you've started a business, and Paul and I have had several businesses over the year, we still have 2 to this day that we run, we can tell you this hardcore. First 3 years, you can't take the money out of that business. First 3 years, you are living on Lean Street, or you are working to fund it some other way, because you take the money out of that in the first 3 years, it'll topple, because it takes 3 years to actually financially grind a business to a point where it can sustain itself and you. Isn't that true?
Yeah, very true.
But the amount of people that decide they're entrepreneurs and jump into these businesses thinking the first contract will sustain them, 18 months down the track, they're burnt out and worried. And I think it's just a shame. So the point we're making is that anything worth truly having in life, you would have worked on. You know, a child takes 9 months, and we all know what happens if that baby comes early. And I think when you can understand that, when you can sit and meditate on that, that anything worth having in your life will take time. The 5 years when everybody's not noticing you, or when you're not in a relationship, all the work you do underneath causes that 6 weeks of 90 feet of growth. Because we are designed to grow, we're designed to have quality and incredibleness, aren't we? But it does take time.
Yeah.
What else you got to say, Paul?
Success, everybody desires success. And sometimes we get a little confused at what success actually looks like. But the reality is that we've got a plan in our lives to come into success. It's just not something that necessarily falls into your hands or into your lap. Sure, that does happen and can happen, but for most of us, we're laying new ground. We're digging new wells. And so if we want to see success in a lasting way, not just a glimpse of success in one area and it comes and it goes, but success for a lifetime, it's constant planning, it's constant working out what it is that your passion is, and what you want to go after, what it is that you want to achieve within your life. And that planning is such a key to getting a hold of what the past has looked like to what the future is going to be for you, and taking what your past has been, no matter what the past has looked like, using it to see what your passions and dreams and goals that have come out of some of those hard times and some of those good times and successful times, and making it even more successful.
True. Guys, I really hope that this has helped you. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for following us. I promise you it will only get better from here. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.